7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
He has a lot of problems.
Struggle to be top 5 in points at the end of the season.
Wow.
You bleach your hair, you're a sellout.
Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Moto Aftermath Show. This is episode 283. We are back in studio. I'm your host, Travis. I want to thank y'all for tuning in here. Really appreciate it. We're here for SMX Playoffs, baby. And they delivered first round here. Hopefully these next two rounds continue to deliver. In studio with me tonight, sponsor of the show, friend, riding buddy, Holster Co. owner, it's Mike. Hey, bud.
What's up, man?
Welcome back.
Glad to be here.
Hopefully we get a little more out of you this time.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a hot take. Right off the rip, hot take.
You're going to put me on the spot?
Yeah, hot
right?
take. Hot take.
Hot take. Jet Reynolds. What's wrong with that kid?
Okay. All right. Look, you should have 2 titles by now, but we'll get to that
At
later.
least.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Really appreciate it. We got a full pack show here. Like I said, we got to talk SMX. I have some rants to go on. There's a couple things that happened in the off weeks that I didn't really bring up on anything that we're going to talk about. We've got Eric Grondahl is actually going to come on the show now when we're recording here on Sunday instead of me and him talking tomorrow. So we got him coming up in a few minutes here. Before we jump into everything, let's thank sponsors and go over ways you can help support the show. So first off, members area. Members for 99 cents per month. You too can help feed my family. And what I mean by that is keep us on the air. So members, we have a couple different options. We have a 99-cent option, a $4.99 option. 99-cent option, you get to watch the show recorded live for free starting next week. I don't know. I got to see if we got any more members. I know we got homie Ralph out there. Screen name RS something. Sorry.
Tell me we don't have to go topless for the $4.99 one.
No. That is our Thirsty Thursday conversations where we can talk anything from conspiracy theories to racing to Formula One to religion to whatever you want to talk. We're going to do a live on Thursday night for an hour. I mean, you can come hang out if you want to.
Yeah, let's do it.
Have a couple drinks and chop it up with these guys or girls or whoever is paying that $4.99 per month, which Ralph is. So we are going to start doing that. Now, we're not going to start that till January, just so everybody knows. I'm just trying to promote stuff and get stuff rolling here. But like I said, for the 99 cents per month, you get to watch the show recorded live. We will set one of the old iPhones up over there and hit the live button when we start recording, and you can watch the whole live thing, and it'll be awesome. So check out the members area. But let's thank the people that are paying the bills right now. So first up, presenting the show, Complete Racing Solutions. And this month, Coach Rob has us promoting their 2025 Elite Team. The goal of the program is for riders and their families to actually make money by saving money in addition to his coaching services, which includes a phone call per week and unlimited access to him directly. They receive numerous partnership benefits in reducing the cost of racing, including help with 60 helmets, gear, Dunlop tires, motor and suspension work, oil, seat covers, and various human performance elements like energy fuel and his supplements and nutritional frontiers. So if you guys want to sign up, make sure to go to CompleteRacingSolutions.com and you can submit your thing. And by the way, he's not accepting any pussies. So if you're a crybaby, if you don't want to work hard, if you are not a good person, or you think everybody owes you something, don't bother fucking applying because he doesn't fucking want you on the team.
That's easy.
And Coach Rob will approve this message. But that's not in the script that he wrote me here, but he will approve this message. So, and also note, if you've previously been dropped or opted out of the program in previous years, your application won't be accepted either because you're off the program. So, make sure to check them out, CompleteRacingSolutions.com, and apply for that elite team. I guess I'm basically on the elite team.
Really?
I mean, I get energy fuel. I have a direct line to Coach.
Coach, hook a brother up.
I'm basically an elite member at this point. So, also on board with us here, we've got Gutterworks going to bring you the 450 race recap. We've got Flo Racing going to bring you the 250 race recap. I have a couple of Holster Co. Reload rants in there. We've got your Isaac Nelson Designs Deegan Danger Zone. And we're in the TLR Coatings Studios. Did I miss anybody? I don't even know. Let's get my notes up here. Show 283. Boom, 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 boom. Cool. Got everybody. All right. Sweet. There's merch on the merch shelf down below. And I think that's it. So, we're going to, let's see here if Eric's ready. If he is, we're going to call him up. So your kid came and rode my turn track this weekend.
I heard.
I mean, it's basically a dust bowl right now.
He said he was faster than you.
Oh, was he? Was he now?
I don't know.
You're so
I think
full of
Fisher
shit.
agreed with him.
Oh, God. No way. Fish is way too laid back for that. That kid is so chill, it's ridiculous.
I know. I love him.
He is absolutely awesome. Sorry, guys. I got some allergies going this week, so that might happen a lot. Yeah, dude, Fish is he's ridiculously chill. He's had no front brake lever now for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I think it's because his dad he just hasn't really made a big deal out of it, so he just keeps riding. Like his dad today, I was standing there talking to him. He's looking at it, he's like, "Why haven't we got any front brake lever yet? Like, I guess we should go do that." So,
well, not to get off topic too far, but when I dropped Zach off the other day, I was talking to Matt, and he said he had just got one of the pitters all put back together, and literally within an hour, Hunter and Fisher had gone out there and stripped a bunch of parts off it for shit they broke on their other pitters.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
I said that's what you get for teaching your kids to be wrenches like you.
So I rode yesterday, and like Fisher and my daughter were riding, and my kid's like, "Dad, are you gonna come ride?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll come ride." So, which mind you, at this point right now, because of the lack of riding, I can put in about a 20 to 25 minute moto on the turn track, and then my arm falls asleep.
Well, that's pretty good though.
From the elbow down. Like about 15 minutes in, I start to tense up a little bit, and then my right arm at about 20 and 25 minutes starts to fall asleep, and I'm just like, oh man. But anyway, so Hunter comes out of nowhere. All of a sudden, there's just another big bike out there I can hear, and I'm just like, what? Where the hell is this? And then I turn around like 3 times, and he's like tipped over, and I'm just like, what are you? I mean, don't get me wrong. Him and Fish have rode that track enough. There are a few corners. There are some deep ruts in, and at this point now, it's so dry, it's rough because it's like powder, and then it's just concrete.
Nice.
So it is, but it's a good time, but it's weird because like right now you can't push it, and that dirt's super weird too. So it's a very interesting topsoil clay, basically. And so like when it rained the other day, you go out there and it's like sloppy like clay, right? Like it's slick and like greasy. But then as soon as the sun hits it, dries out, boom, and it's just dust instantly. Like it is the crazy. There's no like in between with it. And like my whole yard's covered in it because I'm building my whole yard up right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the way it is. It's like greasy, and then as soon as it dries, it's just dusty.
That's weird. Did you see when the Needham boys yeeted my son?
Yeeted your son?
Pretty much, yeah. They pinched him off. I cast in one of the quarters. He said he went Superman flying over the bars into the grass.
Nope, didn't see that. But they were out there a lot when I wasn't yesterday.
Yeah.
Hello.
All right, on the phone with us, Eric Grondahl.
How's it going?
Great. How are you, bud?
I'm pretty good.
What are you eating right now?
Just got a Five Guys milkshake after dinner.
What?
Just a milkshake? That's it?
Yeah.
What's the
that's pretty much all I ever go there for.
What's the Five Guys order? There's no burger order in there?
Nope.
What's the burger spot then?
Burger Bar in downtown Portsmouth or Lexi's.
Oh.
Also in downtown.
Are those both local places, or are they like East Coast places?
Yeah, there's like a couple locations in the Northeast.
Okay.
Or just really New England area. But yeah, it's pretty much just a local thing.
Okay. Are you in and out west, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Big In-N-Out guy.
All right.
I love
Yeah.
it.
I went there once and got a 4x4 when I was out there last time in California, and I regretted every minute. Now, it might have been the fact of the 12 granola bars I ate prior to going there, and then the 4x4 with the
Oh, no.
milkshake that made the rest of my day a
Yeah.
little bit of a shit show, but it's so good.
That's not a good combination.
Dude, it was so good. I regret nothing.
Yeah, no, I love their strawberry milkshake is next level.
Yes. So, all right, man. Well, thank you for coming on here. This is fun that we get to record this. In studio with me here, by the way, I have my buddy Mike from Holster Co., who helps out with the show also. So he might
Awesome.
pipe in here every once in a while, but he's rather
How
quiet.
you doing, Mike?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good deal. I think we might have
Excited to be here.
I think we might have met a couple seasons ago when I helped Kev out
At Redbud.
at Redbud.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So he's rather quiet. He's new in this podcasting thing, and he doesn't like to stir the pot. So
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
he likes to still be able to get autographs. You know, where me, I just like the dirty looks. That's all I'm here for. All right, so let's start this up here, and let's just fire right off the bat where you and I are going to argue. Let's talk about Daddy. And
Dude, go hang out with Gypsy, okay?
bro, it's hard. I'm sorry. The kid's so good. Like, look, your boy Chase, I'm sorry. He's just in an era here. It's unfortunate. Ask Tim Ferry. Ask Kevin Windham. It's an unfortunate thing.
Oh my god!
when you end up in an
dude.
era like this.
It wasn't just Daddy; it was Grandpa too.
Well, yeah, Grandpa was there yesterday also, taking it to him. So,
This is next level. Next level.
I mean,
wow.
okay. Look, I know you're a Chase guy, and I know that's your homie here. And look, I'm just a Jet guy, which is going to make this radio great here for us.
Dude, I'm not a Jet guy. I just I don't know what all you major Jet fans what have you guys been watching the last 20 years?
What?
You act like it's something never seen before.
I mean, it's not never seen, but it hasn't been seen since Ricky.
Ricky, James,
Stu, yeah.
Philip Hodo.
Stu,
Like-
look, I 100% agree. Stu's a great, but Stu hit the ground way too effing much, okay? And I've come around when I first got back
For real.
into this here, and Stu was kind of finishing off his career there in 2013-14 range. I was very, very critical of Stu because of how much he hit the ground. Because I'm like, bro, just dial it back 5%, don't hit the ground, and win everything, which he didn't do.
He
Yeah.
admits that. He
Yeah,
admits
I
it.
know, which is what we're seeing with Jet now. Jet is basically Stu that dialed it back 5%.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's too in control to compare him to Stu, I feel like.
dude, he's so
I feel like he's what was it, 2017 when Roxon had that big crash?
Yes.
I feel like he's 2017 Roxon.
I don't know, man. I think he's even got a little bit better sense, which I know sounds hypocritical here because of what the injury he just came off of and the Hangtown thing, but it's I feel like he's even got a slightly more sense of hey, dumbass, don't do that.
Yep.
So, where Kenny didn't have that. Don't get me wrong, I was there at A1 in 2017 and watched Kenny just yard those fucking guys. Very reminiscent of what Jet does. Because I remember, were you there at A1 that year?
No, I wasn't.
Dude, there was, and I just clearly remember this because this is the only A1 I've ever been to. There was along the outfield wall in, it must have been left field there. There was a double section that you could go 3-1 on that was pretty big. And everybody was doing it, but Kenny was going double and yarding everybody with it. And I was just this is the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. until the accident happened there. It was just, I mean, it was
Yeah.
wild to watch him that year. So,
Well, and that just goes to show too, like sometimes the big lines aren't always faster.
oh, 100%. 100%.
I mean, that was proven
Like
Saturday.
I would say probably most of the time they are, but I remember there was one year, I can't remember what Supercross it was. It was either like Toronto or Detroit maybe, and there was like this big quad, and it actually wasn't faster to do it.
Interesting. Well, like yesterday we
Because
had,
they had the dartfish in the Geico trailer.
yeah. Well, I mean,
And it was actually faster. It was like a triple or like a quad single or something like that.
I mean, it's like yesterday. That quad yesterday, they said, according to Dartfish, was about the same as whatever it was, going table over single or something,
Yeah,
and then
over,
three.
over the table,
Yeah.
over the table, then 3-3, I think it was.
Which is weird because if you look at Deegan, it looked
It
way
seemed
faster
in the 250s, but
Yeah.
Jet proved that it really didn't. You didn't have to do it in the
Yeah.
450s.
100%.
I think it was so hard to get the over the table 3-3 perfectly that it ended up being faster to just do over the table once and then quad.
Yeah.
Or on off quad. Because it was just more consistent. Because getting to the back sides of those tabletops, people don't understand how steep and short those things actually are. So to actually hit that transition lap after lap, it's like next to friggin' impossible to do that.
This is true. And I have rode a real Supercross track, mind you, so I know what those are like, and you're absolutely correct. The tables are way shorter than you think. They're way shorter lengthways, they're way taller heightways, and they're way steeper than you would ever fucking think. Like, even to jump a tabletop in a Supercross track, just jump that is a fucking pain in the ass. So I agree with what you're saying there. That does make sense. So, all right, so here's the big question for you then. Does your guy Chase bounce back from this, or did his confidence just get blown right out the back of his head last night?
Dude, I mean, what race did you guys watch?
I watched Chase be
The first 10 minutes.
Don't include
The
me.
first 10 minutes of both motos, he was pretty much glued to Jet's wheel. I mean, in the second moto, he caught Jet.
He did.
I watched him be a distant
At
third
one
in
point,
two
he
motos.
caught him,
Then he gave
and
up.
then I thought he was going to pass him, and then you could just see he made like one little mistake, and then it was just like, he's like, all right, screw this bike. I'm done pushing the edge. I'm just going to take a third tonight.
Okay.
Which, to me, that shows a lot of maturity out of him because, you know, he's had that reputation of just going until he crashes.
Yeah.
So
That crash.
I honestly think, like, taking my bias out of it, I think that was a championship play right there.
Okay.
Because
Especially for
he
round one.
knows that the next round is double points, and then
Yep.
the last round is triple points.
Yep.
So, and another thing, because Whiskey Throttle posted Chase like talking to his mechanic
I
or
saw that.
somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just saying how he just can't ride the bike after 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I just saw everyone in the comments. So I was just like, I commented because that is a very real thing with this new KTM chassis. Like, I am maybe not even half as good as them, but I still go pretty darn fast on a dirt bike. And the second I bring because I have the same bike, I bring that thing to a hard pack track, I literally feel like I'm going to die. Like, when I try to go fast, I literally think coming into the corners that I might die at any moment.
What do you think it is?
Dude, it's something to do with like the rear end of the bike. I still haven't fully figured it out because I fully changed. So Southwick, bike's totally fine. I totally was comfortable on my bike at Southwick in the sand because your bike's always kind of moving around on you anyways in the sand.
Yeah.
So it's not really anything you have to worry about once you get it set up. But then I had to completely change my setting. I brought my stuff to FC, had them completely redo it before Unadilla, because the second I like put my clickers back to normal, not for the soft stuff, and went riding on hard pack, I was like, I feel like I'm riding with 2x4s and in a wooden shock. Like, it just felt like the bike was just not doing any work underneath me, and I just felt everything. And so I got the suspension better. My forks are pretty decent. The front end's still a little twitchy on that bike. Even with, I have some special races in that thing that rake the front end out to avoid a little bit of that. But even then, on high speed, hard pack stuff, dude, that bike just like, I literally don't know what to do, because I just don't have any confidence in it, no matter what I do with the clickers or anything. And it tracks perfect coming out of the corners across the chop. Like, I've got that dialed in, but there's just like, for me, the rear end is just very unhappy coming into the corners at high speeds, no matter what you do. And it's on very hard pack stuff. And I think that's why, you know, we kind of saw Chase struggle during Supercross, because Supercross is known for being a lot more hard pack than outdoors. And, you know, as the outdoor season went on, Chase kind of got better as they got to know the bike better. And, you know, a lot of the outdoor tracks, they're ripped so deep that the dirt almost never comes into play, because they're, I would say 80% of the tracks end up the same, because they just rip them so deep that you pretty much just need one setting. Other than Southwick, you need a different setting. Paula, you need a different setting. And probably Unadilla, maybe slightly different. But, I mean, other than that, or I'm sorry, Redbud. Not Unadilla, Redbud. But other than that, I mean, if you think about it, all the rest of the tracks develop near identical.
Well, I mean, that doesn't sound positive for your boy going forward then, because Vegas we know will be hard pack, and then who knows what Texas is going to be
You're not
like.
the only one.
Vegas makes me a little nervous. But I'm hoping that after this weekend, I mean, it's freaking factory KTM. Like, they should be able to figure something out.
They didn't in Supercross.
You would think.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one with that bike. I know that much.
Let me ask you this: did you hear anything? So I've heard that during Supercross season, there was some rumblings going around that Chase was going to try to get out of his contract early here because the bike was so bad in Supercross. Was that real or fake?
I don't know.
Oh, come on, Eric.
Come on, sure you do.
Nobody listens to this
I really
stupid
don't.
show anyway.
No, honest to God, I've never talked to him about anything like that. I never. This is the first I've actually heard of that. I had heard people saying that, oh, he regrets leaving and blah, 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 blah. But, like, me talking to Chase, I've never gotten that from him.
Okay.
Don't know that I would, but...
Well, Eric, you're part of a janky podcast now, so we're gonna need that kind of information. You're gonna have to bring these things up in conversation with these people now when you're around.
Yeah,
all right?
let me. You know what? I'll text Chase right now and I'll see if that's true.
Better yet,
There we go.
Let's three-way call him and see if we can bring him on.
Hey, yeah. Hey, Chase, did you try getting out of your contract? I need to know for this podcast I'm doing right now.
Yes.
Eric, you got to be so much more subtle than that. You got to be like, bro. So I keep hearing these rumors on Vital that you were trying to get out of your contract. Like, is this true? Come on, we can do this.
I don't think he's. I would go ahead and say no, just because I don't think he's one to give up that quickly on something.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's got, because obviously, like, he had offers from literally anyone and everything, pretty much, to go. He could have gone wherever he wanted.
Yeah.
And that's what he chose based off the bikes that he tested. So
He went. Did he go and ride the Star bike?
Yeah, I heard he did.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say it or not, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I heard that.
I was gonna say. Yeah, you can't get in trouble because Ricky on his podcast said that he ran into Chase in Tallahassee. So it's not that hard to figure out what the hell Chase is doing in Tallahassee, right? So
yeah.
But I was just like Ricky'd said that, and so I figured it was. But that was one of the things that I figured like you probably knew that he had either gone there or not.
Yeah,
so.
I think enough people have elaborated to that to where I don't think it really matters at this point.
Yeah. I don't understand why it matters anyway.
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't go with them.
Me too.
That is strange.
It's just a faster Honda, right? I mean, kind of.
I don't know about that.
No, because I've rode that new Yamaha, and that thing is definitely its own bike.
Interesting.
They're super weird.
It feels like a completely different bike than any other bike I've ever ridden.
Did you ride a 450 or 250?
450.
Does it steer with the rear like the previous generation did too?
Well, I never rode the previous 450.
Yeah.
I rode a 250.
Okay. Yeah.
But it definitely it cornered better than the old gen 250 that I rode.
See.
And
yep. This makes me feel better.
It's kind of hard to tell. The track that I rode it on was not like a real motocross track. It was like a backyard fairground type of track, so it was kind of tough.
Have you rode the new Hondas yet?
No, but I really want to.
Me too.
Me three.
I've heard a lot of good things. I mean, Ziggy at FC's been testing with some people on the new bike, and he says that it's the best handling bike that
some
he's
people
been able to test with in recent years.
Can we say who?
Who?
Yeah.
Oh no, just like some locals up in New
okay.
England. Nobody like secret or special.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I want to try it. So I have do I have a 20 or 21? I don't remember. YZ250F.
21.
And
Yep.
and I've struggled with that since day one for, I guess we'll call it front end feel. Like I feel like when I'm cornering, the front end pushes, and I'm more of a front end rider per se. And then one day somebody explained to me, they're like, dude, you can't corner with the front end of that bike. You got to like corner with the rear. And I went, oh. And then like I went out.
I will agree with that. Because my little brother has the old Gen 250.
Okay.
And I definitely had to like really just kind of blast the corners.
Yeah. Which is not the way I ride. And like I kind of can do it. Like my riding level, which is basically shit, we'll call it. I went out and I kind of did it the next time, and I was like, okay, yeah, this does work a little better if I'm not relying on front end traction. Like if I'm just essentially, for lack of a better term, trying to drift the corner. Okay, cool, then that works. But trying to rely on the front end, which is what I do, does not work at all. And I've struggled with that. I've had TCD do the suspension. It still doesn't feel great to me. So like I'm right now on the verge of like, maybe it's time to sell this thing and pick up a Honda
or a 350.
No, I don't want to join the steel frame gang,
bro.
I rode a.
Ask Doug.
Coles.
I mean, right now is
Money's
probably not the greatest time to join the steel frame gang.
Plus, I love my small bore bikes, so I would really like a 25 250F Honda. It'd be great.
You need to ride my 350.
Yep.
No, so
I'm a big fan of, like, I've always loved my KTMs.
Yeah.
But I've always been a huge Honda guy growing up, and I rode them probably like half of my professional career.
Yep.
And yeah, kind of. I'm a big fan of both.
Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, so I rode
right now I'm not super stoked with my bike.
I rode a 20
other than in the sand.
I rode a 22 Husky 450 one time, and I was actually quite surprised at how narrow and nimble that thing felt underneath me.
Yep.
And I rode it pretty good for the couple of laps the few laps I put on it. But I'm way more of a Honda guy. So I don't know. We'll see. Nothing's happening right now. I'm not making moves. So, okay, let's see here. Let's get back to racing talk. So you want to talk about Baby Daddy now?
Baby Daddy? Who's Baby Daddy?
Baby Daddy Deegs there. Like, we got Daddy, and we got Grandpa, and then we got Baby Daddy.
Oh, boy.
So Baby Daddy is Deegs.
I don't approve of any of these names, just so we're clear.
Bro, I'm with you.
No one listens to this show. It doesn't matter, okay?
It's so bad.
Except for Jalik. Jalik listens to the show, but that's fine. That's not a big deal. He hates me already anyway, so we won't talk about him, but it's okay.
Well, we only have one thing to say about him for this weekend, sadly, anyway.
Yeah, Jalik hates me, dude. It's fine.
That sucks. He's cool.
He's cool. Like, what, you hang out with him or what?
No.
Okay.
He's actually very quiet. Like, he doesn't...
He wasn't very quiet on
he's
Pulp
a
when he was
pretty quiet
talking
dude.
shit on me.
Yeah, that's true. That was funny.
He was very loud on Pulp saying that he fucking hated me. Very clear, too. Very clear.
I thought it was hilarious.
I did, too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I just think it's funny. Like, bro, you make way more money than me, and I'm doing a podcast out of my garage. Like, I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would hear this and be like, yeah, that guy's a fucking idiot. Just never speak of it again. But
That's funny that he even bothered to bring it up.
But on the biggest show in Moto,
it definitely bothers people. It definitely bothers people.
I'm always amazed at the reach we get. Let's put it that way.
Yep.
So anyway, back to Baby Daddy here. Deegs.
All right, Deegan.
That was quite the performance yesterday.
Dude, that was unreal. That was unreal.
He whipped it out, threw it on the counter, and said, "Fuck you guys." And I'm not talking about a gun.
Dude, that was nuts.
I thought you were talking about a whip over a jump.
No.
Because he did throw a nasty scrub over that, like, double onto the start straight.
Fuck yeah, he did. That was nutty.
Disgusting.
That was the sickest thing I've seen in a while. I was like, holy shit.
You want to talk about feeling it? That boy was feeling it this weekend.
He was feeling it. He was absolutely feeling it.
I wonder.
There's nothing else to say other than two friggin' amazing rides.
I think this is what we're about to see for the next 18 months out of him, to be honest with you, in the 250 class.
Yeah, he's going to be tough to beat, that's for sure.
You want to talk about him talking shit on your guy Chase, or?
Yeah, that was just stupid.
Wait, I think I missed that. What did he say?
Oh, Eric, go ahead, man. You explain this.
He said number 4 will probably have the quad taken out.
Oh,
and
I missed that.
Yeah, he commented. I don't remember whose post it was.
It was
on,
20. It was 23.
Like,
23 Media. Let's just shout him out because he's a cool dude. I've talked to him before. So 23 Media posted.
Yeah, he seems like a cool dude.
Yeah, he posted a video of Deegs doing that quad, and Deegs said, "Don't worry, number 4 will probably petition the AMA to take it out, and then Pulp will get on and do a piece about how it's a great idea that they took it out." Which is really funny to me that he took shots at both of them.
He doesn't give a fuck.
He does not give a shit. And from what I understand now, it is not his dad telling him to do this. It is 100% him. his dad and Duff
Oh,
try
I'm
to
sure.
talk him out of doing this shit. And you know
Yeah,
what? I
yeah.
hope he never listens to them because I'm so here for all of this.
I know, I love it.
I can't wait to hear Steve crying this week about like, oh,
I just-
Deegs. You know he's going to bring it up. He will
Oh,
100% bring it up. He is going to talk
Yeah,
about
he
it.
has to.
No doubt.
He has to.
Yep.
He has to.
So
And if he doesn't, it's because he doesn't want to.
now you all know where this stems
But-
from, though, right?
I don't. I have no
Don't-
idea.
Yeah, the motocross
Wait, no,
nations.
no.
No.
It was because. Wait, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought,
Yeah.
'cause I thought
No.
Chase was on Pulp
Well,
Yes.
saying something about
Okay.
how Deegan wouldn't go or something.
no. So Chase definitely had some.
He threw some digs.
He threw some shade at not only him. I mean, it was realistically towards everyone who doesn't go, of like how
Yep.
they
He
should.
also didn't go.
No, but what really but the real core of this is, so at Ironman, they had built up that finish line jump this year to make it so that more
The
people
Deegan
would
double.
jump it,
Yeah.
right? And what ended up
Yep.
happening is after press day, I think it was Phil went to Chase, and there were a whole bunch of other people too that were like, dude, we got to take this out. Like, we don't need to be doing this big ass jump also on this track. And Chase
Yeah.
went to AMA and said, we need to take this out, which
I
of
heard
course
that.
they did. And then of course
Mm-hmm.
Pulp he goes on Pulp, they're talking about it, and Steve of course is like, oh yeah, of course they need to take that. There's so many other big jumps on that track, like we don't need another big jump, blah blah blah, whatever. So that's where that stems from, is because they took out that finish line jumper, knocked it down there. And of course,
Okay.
and just so everybody in my comments here, I didn't fucking know they knocked it down after press day because I was at the fucking race. So get fucked. Because I
Yep.
got slayed in the
Yep.
comments for that last week too. You're a fucking idiot. They knocked it down. That's why I didn't do it during the race. You're a fucking moron. He would have done it during the race, but they knocked it down. They knocked it down. I had 87 comments telling me they knocked that fucking jump down. Look, idiots, I didn't fucking know. I was at dinner at Applebee's when they were knocking it down. I wasn't at the track talking to people, being like, oh, you think you're going to hit that tomorrow? No, they're
Dude.
knocking it down. Sorry, didn't get that
He's a
info.
creative writer. Like he proved it yesterday.
Keyboard warriors or something else, dude. Every time I comment on something, I'm just like, why did I do that?
No, it's
I
the
like,
best.
I get so fired up, and I just I like to put like real information out there, like with some educated thought behind it, and then people are just like, oh, you're retarded, oh, you're an idiot, like all this stuff, and I'm just like, oh my god, and then I literally just friggin' shut my phone off.
You can't use education and
And
logic on the
I'm
internet.
like,
You have to just
No,
be like,
dude.
fuck
you
you.
cannot.
Let's be honest.
It's
Half of those
so
dudes
bad. It's so
commenting
bad.
couldn't even throw their fat ass leg over a dirt bike, much less, get to a
best
level you
part
were at.
is- The best part is that half of them are people that like go and make a fake account to go make
Yep.
the comments and talk shit to
100%.
Dude, those people,
just
I
because they
always
don't
check.
want people to know who they actually are.
I always check. They literally, I had a guy last week tell me that my podcast was a joke, and all he does is listen to this because he thinks it's a joke, but he'll never subscribe. So of course, the first thing I do
Well,
is
at least
click
he's
his-
listening.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Right.
So the first thing I do is click his name. Oh, you've been on YouTube for 13 years and you have 10 subscribers, which means you maybe made one video, didn't get a million subscribers, and said, oh, this is too fucking hard, and the only videos you comment on are mine. Okay, cool. Thanks for the engagement. So I commented back and said, well, number one, thanks for helping the show out because you commented, retard, and number two, I don't give a fuck what you say. One guy was like, I don't understand how you keep having a podcast. I was like, well, step one, I turn on the camera. Step two, I record a show. Step three, I upload it on YouTube. Step four, voila, podcast. Fuck off, I don't care. We're going to keep doing it.
It's not rocket science.
This is fucking easy. And guess what? I'm not saying anything that's going to get me kicked off the fucking internet. So don't care.
Yep.
But going back to your logic thing there too, I tried to use a little. So Larry Ward, I was arguing with him last week.
What?
Yep.
Get
Oh,
out of
boy.
here.
He commented on some short. Cole was talking about how he hoped that Jet would switch teams so he would stay in the sport longer, because I think we've all heard now RV is very open that he retired early in a sense, and he's openly
Yep.
said if I had to switch teams, I probably would have stayed longer.
Yeah.
So this happens.
Yeah.
Jets obviously winning fucking everything. So me and Cole are having a conversation about like, man, how long do you think he'll go? And he goes, man, I hope he switches teams. Larry Ward comments on this short and says, yeah, because winning is fucking boring. And I said, well, you've got RC, RV, Dungy. I mean, do you want me to keep going? These guys that have retired early? And RV's pretty fucking open that fucking he retired because he was fucking over it, where if he would have switched teams, I mean, what do you want to argue, bro? I don't understand where your logic is with this. RV's publicly fucking saying this, that he got bored.
Yeah,
Winning.
that's weird.
He won 4 fucking Supercross titles in a row, and he won the last one, got the trophy, and was like, see ya, I'm out. So, like, I don't know what you're arguing, dude. And I got mad respect for Larry Ward. He's one of the fucking greats of all time. Awesome, cool, legend. Like, no problem, bro. But, like, how are you going to argue this? It's fucking public.
Yeah.
It's out there, dude. Like, I don't know. Whatever, man.
Hey, the sickest thing Villapoto ever did was when he swept the Monster Cup and pulled the hole shots and won that Toyota Tundra. They said, what are you going to do with this truck? And he said, trade it in for a Raptor.
Yes.
That was like the sickest thing, because I was at that Monster Cup and I was like, wow.
Nice.
He is very, very sick for that.
He is, dude.
He's so cool.
He's so much cooler as a retired guy than he was as a racer. It really sucks that the pressure kept him from fucking being this guy while he was racing, because his fan base would have been 10 times what it is.
Oh, it would have been huge
had he been there. So, man, that was awesome. So,
yeah.
Anything you...
All right, back to Deegan.
Yeah,
right?
Back to Deegs here. Does he lose a moto in playoffs here?
Yes.
To who?
I think so, too.
Who beats him?
RJ.
RJ or Kitchen.
Yep.
Well, RJ went to the danger zone yesterday and crashed like Maverick
And almost
Top
yeeted
Gun.
himself into that concrete wall.
He crashed like Maverick and Top Gun, bro. He was just like, no, Goose.
Dude, that was gnarly. Like,
It was gnarly.
You know how close he was to smacking his head
Sometimes
on that wall?
RJ is the danger zone.
Dude.
Oh, all the time. Sometimes. All the time.
The thing I love about RJ is like he literally, and Jason Thomas has said this, so I can't take full credit for this. He is like, dude, RJ is the guy that will look straight at Deegan and be like, you want to see how nuts we can get? How nuts do you want to get? I'll go as nuts as you want to go, baby. Let's do this. Let's do this.
100%.
Yep.
Is he like that all the time, or is that just like on the bike type thing?
I wish I still had the video. We had a video of him his first year of Supercross. On whoop number 3 of like, it was a shorter set. There was only like 9 of them.
Oh.
Both his feet fly off on like whoop number 2 or 3. And he blitzes the whole whoop section with no feet on the pegs doing a Superman.
Sweet.
This sounds like an RJ thing.
Somehow gets his feet back on the pegs by the last whoop, breaks for the corner, and finishes his moto. And he comes over to us after he finishes this, or it might have been a sprint. And we were just like looking at him. Nobody said a word. And all of us were just like, we looked like we'd seen a ghost. And he's like, what? And we're like, dude, you almost died. And he's like, what are you guys talking about? And we're like, what do you mean, what are we talking about? Like, in the whoops, you did a Superman.
That's awesome.
And he's like, oh, yeah, I did get a little bit sketchy that one lap. He's like, I didn't think it was that bad, though.
A little bit.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just like, dude, you were doing a full Superman on your bike. Like, what? Like, it just doesn't register with him. Like, he'll swap side to side 5 times coming into a corner and then hit the rut perfect and just keep on going about his day. Where I'm like, dude, if that happens to me, I'm like recovering for the whole rest of the lap. Like, oh my God, I just died. Oh my God, I just almost died. Like, how did I save that? And it just like, he just, as soon as it happens and he's not on the ground, he's just like, all right, what's next? And just keeps going. That's why I never made it as a pro. Because I was like,
well, JT said
it was
too.
too much for me. Like, yeah,
he gets up from stuff that nobody else will get up from.
Exactly. Like, he is so gnarly. He's so gnarly.
He's so gnarly, he worries me. Like, we saw him at Chicago last year after the race, walking around, and me and Justin have talked about this a lot. Like, he had this look in his eye, like, he didn't know where the fuck he was. Kind of like when you see a drunk person outside the bar, like, 2 blocks down. He had that kind of look, and me and Justin were just like, I hope he's all right, man. Like,
did he crash there last year?
I don't remember. But probably. It's RJ, man. Probably.
Well, yeah, he must have if he was looking like that.
I don't remember. But yeah, we both were, at that point, we both were just like super concerned about him on like a human level of like, dude, man, if your head's really in that space, like, can we just go sit down for a while? like let's just chill, bro. You got kids, you got a wife, like let's chill. Yeah. I'll tell you what I do like about RJ. He is very open that he is not riding this 250 next year outside of Supercross. He'll ride it in Supercross and that's it.
Yep.
So,
yep.
I like
Yeah, he told me that a while ago.
I like that he's being open. So,
yep. Yeah, he told me 250 Supercross to defend the title and then 450 after that.
Which is good. How old is he now?
40. No,
just kidding.
Just kidding.
28.
Okay. Yeah.
He'll be 29 in January.
Okay. Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see how he does in the 450 class. I mean, he did all right. Didn't he race? Wasn't it Daytona or something a couple years ago and he was doing okay?
Yeah, Daytona.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won the heat race and then got like 6th in the main.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, he wanted to race some this year, but the team wouldn't let him.
There's some financial issues going on over there at the Pure Mobility Group, so
a little bit. Which is so odd.
I don't even think it was to do with. I think they just wanted him to focus on the title.
I think they couldn't afford the 450, but
well, dude, why are they hurting?
Christian was out at the time.
Oh yeah, I guess that's
Christian
true.
was out.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, so he was like, "Hey, let me ride," and they were like, "No."
You go to on the local level, you see so many orange bikes on the line. It's retarded. How are they hurting for money?
There is up here.
Yeah, how are they hurting for money?
There is up here.
I hear new bikes are not moving. So you may see all the orange bikes, but they're probably not 25s.
Yeah, probably not.
So, which is a problem. Like, it's great that you sold a whole bunch, but if it doesn't continue,
because they watch Chase struggle with it.
Yeah,
right? No, I don't know.
Is next year a new bike?
I don't know.
The year after.
I don't know.
It might be.
I mean,
well, there's a weird rotation over there, isn't there?
Yeah, their rotation's
the
different.
Year after, maybe.
Look, here's the thing.
I think Huskies do for the.
Well, they've done 3 years and then they've done 4 years.
Yeah.
They've changed it because they used to do it every 3 years, but I think the last 2 times it's been 4. Look, or maybe just the last time it was 4.
Look, if I'm any of these manufacturers, I see Ken Roxon win a race on that Suzuki, and I go, you know what, guys? We probably only need to design a bike every like 6 or 7 years.
It's from 2016.
Like we could, yeah, oh yeah. Like we could get a solid 6 years out. Like there's no need to go every 2 to 4 years here. Like we could get 5 or 6 before,
totally true.
Which I honestly think would be better because it would give you more development time. It'd give these aftermarket companies more development time. You'd sell more units. You get more cost effectiveness out of it. I know everybody wants the new bike. Okay, cool. Put different stickers on it. I don't know, man. Like to me the new chassis, new whatever every 2 to 3 years here is just like ridiculous. I mean, like I said,
supposedly that
the team's
supposedly that new Honda is the same geometry. It's just stiffer frame.
Yes.
And then just like the shock is mounted in a different position.
Yeah, I heard it includes like the gussets and stuff that they were adding last year anyway.
Yeah.
I think they changed the angle of the front end. I'm not positive, so don't quote me on that. But I thought that's what I watched the other day. I don't know. It was like a week ago when I watched the video on it. But
I mean, the real question is,
I know
what do you do every 3 years?
updating.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a bike tech.
I don't know either. That's like the thing. But yeah, I'm in the same boat with you. Like that's what I keep hearing about this Honda is like, yeah, the frame is essentially the same as the 24. It just has the gussets that they were putting on the 23 and the 24 to stiffen it up. And then the subframe
rather
slightly.
than-
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, like rather than designing a totally new bike, they just kind of took their platform and made it better.
Yeah. Yeah. Which
It was kind of like
That makes more sense.
perfecting their bike. Which to me that makes the most sense out of anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they just threw some new plastics on it, so everyone's fired up that it has new plastics. Which I love, by the way. The old school look is so freaking sick.
Yeah, it's cool.
Agreed.
It's very cool looking. So, yeah, no, I mean, like, I've got a street bike that they made from 2001 to 2006. And then they had an older carbureted version that was 99 and 2000. So basically, the chassis and the plastics and like some of the other parts like that, wheels and stuff, all the same. And then they just changed the motor because it went from carbureted to fuel injected or whatever. So like you can find parts for this bike everywhere. So like, yeah, these bikes like this, I mean, look at like the YZ250s. Those things are basically the same fucking thing since 1996. Whenever they went from steel to aluminum frames.
125s too.
Yeah, they're all this. Like, I'm pretty sure the motor is exactly the same. I'm 99% sure that those motors are exactly the same. So like, imagine the ROI on that development.
Yeah.
Like 30 fucking years of like the same thing. Awesome. I don't know. Like I said, the every 2-3 years of coming out with a new bike, like, to me just seems ridiculous. I like what Honda's doing. Hopefully, I'd be interested to know if like the wheels and the brake calipers and the forks and everything are the same. Like, okay, cool. So now you can go from whatever it was, 22-ish to 26 then?
21.
21, okay.
Yeah, 21. Mm-hmm.
So, because to me that just...
I'm pretty sure that... I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the 21 Honda wheels were the same as like the previous generation.
Oh, as the 17s or whatever? Yeah, 17 to 21.
So.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, that would be... They really need...
I know most of those companies are pretty good about trying to keep a lot of that stuff because I mean it helps them too, like keep their costs down when they don't have to redevelop every single thing.
Yep.
And open new molds, all that type of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Well, anything else you want to touch on with the race, man?
I think it's super lame that the AMA they didn't DQ him. Apparently, they docked him, the 65 kid, for jumping the finish line. Are you kidding me?
We'll be ranting about that later.
Yep.
But yes,
Dude,
I'm in the same boat.
Come on.
Stupid as fuck.
No, you can't make up a rule while the kids are on the friggin' line. Like,
Wait.
Hey, by the way, don't jump the finish line, otherwise we'll dock you.
Wait, you heard that?
I heard that was a riders meeting thing, but still, like, come on, these kids are sending stuff that us vet riders wouldn't send.
Yeah. Like, if the bike can jump it, then let them jump it. Like, or don't let them on the track. Like, what? You can't just like put a limit on something when they know that they can do it.
Agreed.
I mean, my thing is like how many kids jumped that triple last year? The 70-foot triple and the finish line. That was a big finish line, but I doubt it was as big as a triple.
There was only a few, but
was there only a few?
Yeah.
I thought there was more than that last year.
He was the one that did it first.
Yeah,
but still, I mean,
these
kids are the elite of the elite. At that age.
I mean, I can just do it right now. Holster Co. Reload ran on this. Like, this is the stupidest fucking thing. Like, and I would tell Mike Pelletier to that right to his fucking face right now. Like, bro.
Dude, I would tell any AMA guy that agrees with that.
Yeah,
that's the dumbest fucking rule ever.
I'm not just going with any AMA guy. I'm going right to the top. Mike Pelletier. This was a stupid fucking thing, and that kid needs to get his trophy back.
Yeah, so if you got kids that aren't going to do it and roll it, do they even belong out there? I mean, these are the elite kids.
Are they I mean, here's the thing. Where you gonna tell the 85cc kids next week they can't jump the finish line?
Yeah, like what's next? You can't jump the rhythms. You got to roll the rhythm as fast as you can.
Because I mean,
dude, come on.
This isn't D class. These are the elite of the elite kids in this division. It's not P dubs, okay? These bikes are set up to fucking jump. They're made to fucking jump jumps. And that jump's only 60 feet at most. That jump was 60 feet.
Kid said it was easy.
I guarantee you, every single one of those kids was training on a Supercross track to get ready for this.
100%.
So they knew what to expect.
100%.
They knew what they were getting themselves into.
Yeah, it's
So
ridiculous.
it's just like if you're gonna do this and include them in the show, then don't put a limit on what they can do. You make them follow the same rules that everyone else has to follow on the track.
Well, here's the thing. You tell those 65 kids they can't jump the finish line, but last year at Chicago, the 85cc kids, I watched 5 of them in a row absolutely destroy themselves trying to jump that finish line because you had a 65-foot finish line 13 feet out of the fucking corner, and like there was no berm or run into it, and it was ridiculous. I mean, I literally watched 5 kids try to do it on Super Minis last year.
Nick Way's kid was one of them.
And completely yard sail themselves casing it because it was a big send for the 450s to get out of that corner, let alone the 250 kids. The 250 guy, I watched part of the 250 field in free practice last year at Chicago not jump that finish line because it was so big. And then they went and fixed it after the Super Mini kids yeeted themselves on it. So cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, hey, make sure we got to make sure we have that in riders meeting.
There's got to be a better thought process when you're inviting these kids out. You gotta have either keep it in mind or just don't let them come. But I think it's great that they're letting them come because, I mean, shoot, that's got to be the coolest feeling ever to get on the podium in front of all those thousands of people and be on TV and all that stuff.
Dude,
like that's awesome.
To not only get to ride that track, but be on TV, but be in front of all those people. Like, yeah, just keep stacking it. Like, I think it's fucking great. I think we should do it at Supercrosses, to be honest with you.
Yep.
Not just the KTM 50s.
Agreed.
That I enjoyed watching that race as much as I enjoyed watching All Night. Probably
100%.
Honestly, I probably enjoyed it more.
100%. 100%. Let me ask you.
It was just fun to see little kids just absolutely sending it for the win.
Yep. Let me ask you this before you get off here. So, outdoors is a 2-moto format. The SMX races are a 2-moto format. Do you think we should go to a 2-moto format in Supercross?
I don't know. I think you could do it for some of the rounds. I mean, I also like the triple crowns. I like the changing it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's my thought process behind this, right? We're going for synergy, right? Which this is my new.
Yep.
This is me trying to be positive, and let's make some positive comments on the sport here, okay? I like the playoff thing here. And yesterday's race, in my opinion, delivered on the playoff hype and the playoff sense, right? But as I'm watching it, I'm thinking like, okay, cool. So what are we always trying to do, right? We're always trying to bring in new viewers. So much so that us guys like the 3 of us who watch the races all the time, who know stuff about motocross, it's the red Honda. Oh, it's the green Kawasaki. Okay, fine. So if we're trying to have this synergy where we have this SMX World Championship, if we're trying to bring in new people and make things easy to understand, how stupid is it that we have 2 of the 3 series are a 2-moto format, and the other one is, you qualify during the day for your gate pick for your heat race, and then you take this many out of the heat race, and then you've got your LCQ that gets this many, and then you have one main event that's this long, blah blah blah, whatever. Okay, let's just go 2 motos for everything, dude. And I'm with you. Let's keep the Triple Crowns, but the Triple Crowns, we need a sponsor and we need money behind it. Because we need to have a Triple Crown champion that we really push and say, hey, we've got the Triple Crown built into this series, which is a series within a series. Cool. Sounds a little stupid in my opinion, but whatever. Let's do that. And then let's put $500,000 behind that or something. Just for the winner. Yep. We don't have to pay anybody else anything extra. Let's do $250K for the frickin' 250 guy, or well, no, the 250s don't even get it. So all we need is $500,000 for the 450s because they're the only ones that race all three. And let's do the Triple Crown Series. You can have your SMX World Championship. We go 2 motos. We can go same thing in Supercross. We can go a Friday practice, Saturday qualifying, Saturday race. You can have mini bike kids there too. You can still do your KTM juniors there.
Juniors.
You could do 85cc kids at half the races, and you could do futures kids at the other half of the races and start giving these kids a series to actually fucking run for the thing.
Agreed.
This is me trying to do constructive criticism here as best I can.
I mean, when you say it like that, it makes sense. It does. I don't love it, but it does make sense because it is very hard. Like when I'm bringing people that might not know a whole lot of moto and like trying to explain stuff to them. It's like Supercross is like explaining, I don't even know what, explaining algebra.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
There's a lot to follow. Whereas
100%.
outdoors, the top 40 guys out of practice make it.
Yep.
I mean, technically it's 36 and an LCQ, but like they don't need to know that.
Yeah, which is fine too because you can go, okay, cool. So, you take whatever. It's just like yesterday. Like, okay, these 20 guys are seated in. Here's the LCQ guys.
Yep.
We're going to take, however many to fill out the gate, whatever. I know it was changing by the minute with people crashing out. Whatever, that's fine. But yeah, but literally that clicked in my head yesterday as I'm sitting there. I'm going, we're doing 2 motos in SMX and we do 2 motos in outdoors. And then Supercross is this trigonometry problem of heat races and LCQs and qualifying and all this shit. Like, why don't we just get a little more synergistic and frickin' make it 2 motos also? It'd be way better for everybody.
Yep. Yeah. No, that does make sense. And let's take out a couple of those Supercross rounds too.
I saw a sneak peek at a schedule.
For us. It's great for us, but it's not, dude. That's so much for the riders. It's way too much.
I am with you. But I saw a sneak peek of the schedule for next year, and it looks different than what it does this year. So,
well, now you got to tell us.
All right, well, I had this on for my halftime report here. So I saw a sneak peek of the schedule, and who knows if it's the final thing or not. But there's only 16 rounds on it. I will say that. There's only 16 rounds.
Okay.
It does not start
better.
It does not start the first weekend of what's it called? The first weekend of January, and there's no Daytona.
What?
That's what I saw. It's very interesting. And there's still 2 weeks, like there's still 2 different like weeks off in there like we've had the last 2 years.
Okay.
So it's super interesting. Like I said, I don't know if it's the final one. But it was very interesting to see. And there were 2 Pennsylvania rounds on there.
What?
Huh.
Yeah. At two different stadiums. So I don't know. It was a very weird thing. I do like the fact that there was only 16 rounds. I'm very in love with that. Very in love with that.
That's better.
Because I really did. You watch the press conference yesterday?
I watched clips of it, but I haven't watched the whole thing.
Because they kind of, well, Eli didn't so much, but Jet and Chase kind of went in on there's too many fucking races, and we could go down to about this many Supercrosses and whatever. And I think no one really knows what the magic number is, but what the guys are saying is, look, if we got down to like 14, 15 rounds of Supercross, and Jet even made a good point, I think it was Jet, made a good point on it, of like, look, there's so many Supercross races that the guy who wins usually has a huge points lead by 12 rounds in or whatever. So by the time you get to the last 3, no one fucking cares because his points lead is so big. And I went, that's a very, for a kid that they say there's not a lot going on upstairs, that was a good fucking point there, brother. And I've said that we could probably go to 15 of those, We could probably go to 10 outdoors. And then the 3 playoff rounds.
I mean, I hate taking outdoors away because I like the outdoors.
Me too.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I would say 15 Supercross, 10 outdoors, and then the 3 playoff rounds. I feel like that's fair.
Yeah, because think about it. If you did that, you still kept the two weeks in there for the kind of built-in breaks for Supercross there. So you do like whatever it is. You go 5, you've got a week off. You go 5, you got a week off. You go 5, then you could have a month off of an off season between Supercross and outdoors. And can you imagine how the guys could get ready for outdoors then? Be unbelievable.
It would be so much better. It would be so much better.
Yep. And then you go, same thing with outdoors. You do, say, like 3 on, week off, 3 on, week off, 4 on to finish out the series, or however you wanted to break it up like that. And then you go a week off, and then you do the 3 playoff weekends, and then you're done by the first weekend in September. Something like that. I don't know. I guess I don't know how that works out.
Yep.
Because that was one thing. Steve was doing post-race interviews, and he was talking to, like, I think it was Nate Ramsey, and he was asking, and Nate was like, nobody knows the magic number. He goes, but it would be nice to get everything done by, like, the end of August again, to have September to kind of chill before we got to really start ramping up in October before we hit boot camp in November. So,
Yep.
which I'm like, yeah, I totally agree with. And like I said, if you could build a month off break there between series, I think that would be far superior.
That would be huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be huge.
Especially between the indoors and outdoor stuff. I think that would be,
Yeah.
that'd be way better. So yeah.
Give guys time to actually develop the bike.
Yeah, because you could literally, like, have an easy week and then 2 hard weeks right before you start racing, and, like,
Not to mention some family time and stuff that give these guys
built in.
and
Well, and that's why these guys get so burnt out, because, like, I mean, they get a week vacation after the last round of SMX, and then they're right back to testing Supercross.
I mean, in all
Like,
fairness,
it's crazy.
In all fairness, in real life here, what do you get? 2 weeks off from your job? So, you know.
Okay, but most people's job is not as demanding as what they're doing.
I understand.
You're not risking your life every weekend.
I understand. I always play that out in my head of, like, well, you know, if I have a regular job that's 9 to 5, they give me 2 weeks off per year. So, yeah.
Just think of the limit that they're constantly pushing their bodies to, though. And then people wonder why they get hurt so often.
Oh, yeah. I know. I know. Yep. Nope.
Yeah.
I understand.
That's my 2 cents on it.
I understand. So I'll be interested to see when that Supercross schedule comes out, if it looks anything like what I saw this weekend. Because if it does, that's interesting. And I feel like that's another step in the right direction of we went down to 16 rounds instead of 17. But we'll see.
Yep.
I'm sure I'm going to get in trouble because I'm talking about it. So we'll see how that goes too. Probably got an email headed my way already.
Yeah.
I didn't leak the picture on this one, okay?
I saw that.
I may have leaked the Triumph bike. I didn't leak the schedule that somebody else leaked, all right? So, all right, buddy. Well, thank you for coming on again this week. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, hopefully next week will be just as exciting to talk about as this week was.
I'm sure it will be.
So, all right, bud. Have a good week. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
See you, man.
See you guys.
All right, Eric Grondahl, everybody. Brought to you by Alias MX. Make sure to check them out, aliasmx.com. Link in the description down below. Pick up some gear, which I've not got any new. Well, I got gear from them last year when they first started dropping again, which I should wear at some point here.
Probably. Hey, there's a Sprint Enduro this weekend.
Absolutely not. We were just talking about this. I am way too poor to go ride.
Bro,
I can barely
I'm sure we
afford
could work something out.
I can
with Doug.
barely afford the race gas to. First off, I don't want to go do a sprint enduro. Doesn't sound positive to me at all.
No, it's fun.
No, it doesn't seem like it.
It's like a little bit on the track.
Nope.
And then a
doesn't-
little bit out in the woods.
No.
And there's ride-arounds for those of you who...
Nope. Doesn't seem. I'm out. Thank
Weak.
you.
Everybody, can you help me out in the comments?
I'm gonna go ride
Get this guy to ride his bike,
I'm gonna go ride the turn track and fix my yard.
like I said.
All right, we're gonna take a break here and get everything reset. I gotta get my iPad here, so we got results, and then when we come back, we're gonna run down results of the race. We got complete racing halftime report and 250s and 450s, and yeah, probably who knows what else we'll get into. Although we kind of went through like half my halftime report already with Eric, but that's okay. So anyway, we'll be right back. Just a sec. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. That was a great conversation with Eric there. I don't know why I have
great.
these stupid things on. I don't need that. We're just talking now. Yeah, that was great. So, all right, let's knock this out. We talked about a whole bunch of stuff already, but let me get in here. All right, 450 race recap brought to you by our friends at Gutter Works. Always well hung, just like Justin Barsha. Did you see that crash?
Yeah, ouch.
He tried to ride.
Did he?
I thought he rode first practice or first
yeah.
qualifying, didn't he?
Yeah, I think you're
I
right.
thought he was out there. Yeah, and then decided to sit out the rest of the day. I think he rode first qualifying, and then they pulled it. So, yeah, that was rough. That was a rough weekend. You've got Mookie goes out, free practice crash there
That was bad.
because Webb chopped the wheel. AP was not 100%.
That was the big headline at first, was that AP is injured. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Ando went down in that one. Then how about that wreck where Ando scorpioned himself there later in practice?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that hurt. I should text
was
John and be
nasty.
like, how's your boy feeling? Because that was rough.
Dude, that was gnarly.
Yeah. So, and then Barsha.
Chase went down right there, too.
No, Chase went down in the other sand section.
Oh, was it the other one?
Ando went down in the one
I saw real
towards
short
the end
clips.
of the track there.
Oh, okay.
Like where they went out and around or whatever. And then Chase went down at the starting end of the drag strip there, up by the press box that Steve hates. So
was wild.
That was a gnarly weekend for crashes there, and then Casey Cochran crashes too.
Yep.
But of course, then I hear in the interview with his manager that he was kind of still injured from other things, so probably shouldn't have been riding anyway. But whatever. It was a gnarly weekend. Gnarly weekend. So, all right, let's fire off with 450s here. So we talked a bit about this already. Jet goes 2-1. They're all screwed, man. They're all screwed.
Yeah, dude, he's...
Jason Thomas said this, and I 100% agree with him. There was a lot happened there. If Jet came back and won this weekend, coming off of 66 days of recovery, and that thumb, they say it's okay. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? We'll never actually know.
For sure.
But that's a short ass period to get
Very short.
recovered. And he wins. And I mean, that second moto, he followed Eli longer than I thought he would. But there was a point there where he kind of got back out of the roost and he went, okay, I know where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And then when he wanted to, he did.
Yep.
And we've watched him do this before.
Yep.
I mean,
What else can he say? Like, he is from a different planet. It was
Lars said he saw the
insane.
spaceship come down and drop him off
Oh,
Friday.
yeah, that's right. I did hear that.
So, I don't know, man. That was wild. Gear was sick. Lit
Yeah.
kit.
That was cool.
I want that bad. Need to order a set. But, but I mean, dude, this is just... I was kind of on the assumption with everybody else, like, if he came in, got a top 5 or a podium, good. But to win... And I knew everybody was in trouble when we got through that first free practice. When we got through that first that first qualifying, and on the last lap, he puts one in that's a second faster than Chase. I went, uh-oh. But I still had my concerns of, like, what are we going to look like 20 minutes in? And doing it twice. Because all it takes is he cases one thing, jams that thumb, and he's Cooper Webb, and oh my God, it's hurt again, you know?
You think that's why he wasn't doing the quad?
Maybe. That could be a big possibility.
I wondered that.
Because if he misses that, I mean, the problem is, it's like what he's got. It's like right in here. So if you land, and you know how it is when you case something and you stop fast, it jams your hands. That's a problem. So, but it looked way too easy. I mean, it looked like he wasn't trying when he went around Tomac. It
really did.
It was just like, all right, cool, I'm going to go. I mean, bro, he wheelied by him in the rollers. Yeah. That was what he did. Yeah. It literally was like they thought he was setting him up for the sand section. He was going to go outside in and double those like he'd been doing.
I'm out.
And he was just like, nope. Just rode that rear wheel, mad skill style down those rollers, and see you later. Thanks for coming. Grandpa, Daddy's here. Don't worry about it. Here we go. So, no big deal. I'm here to tell you. And I know Eric was on the phone, and Eric was trying to pump his boy Chase up. And I love him for that. That's great. But I'm here to tell you, man, if Chase doesn't win any of these motos, which I doubt he will, to be honest with you.
I think he'll sneak one in somewhere.
I don't think so.
Really?
Nope. I don't think Chase wins a one. I think there's a possibility Tomac wins some more. Maybe one or two throughout the next 2 rounds. But that's just because I think Tomac is so freaking good on these hybrid tracks but if he doesn't do that, dude, I said this in my reaction show. Everything I talked about over the summer about like if Chase's summer looks the way it does because Jet isn't there, it's 100% true.
Yeah.
100% true.
Agreed.
And I'm sorry to say, and it's not a dig against Chase. Chase is great.
No, yeah.
It's just
I'm not a
Jet
Chase hater either.
No.
I'm just trying to be a realist about it.
Jet's just Jeterational.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Yep.
And this is the same thing. Like I said, all those dudes that came. I mean, ask Kevin Windham what it's like to race a generational talent in Ricky Carmichael.
Yeah.
And get second every single week, every single year.
Yep.
It sucks, but sorry, it's just the way it is. So, so any thoughts on Jet?
What else can you say? I mean, dude, he's unbelievable.
It's wild.
Coming back literally 2 months of recovery time, and you come out and it's like nothing happened. It's like it never happened.
How's your thumb? Thumb's good.
Mm-hmm.
Unreal.
Yeah.
So, Tomac goes 1-2. Honestly, it doesn't surprise me that he won that first one. The start was really good.
Paddle tire.
And he's really good on these tracks like this.
That's true.
When he said he was excited, and I started thinking about it, and I went, yeah, he loves Daytona. What are we doing? We're essentially racing Daytona tracks minus whoop sections for 3 rounds. Doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm on the path that he'll be really good at all 3 of these. Does he beat Chase every round? I don't know. We'll see. It's questionable, but
it's a toss-up.
I mean, he beat him both motos yesterday.
I mean, this is true.
Handily.
This is true. Hunter looked pretty good.
We'll get to him
at
in a
first.
second.
Okay.
We'll get to him in a second. Right, bro, we're going down the line. Let's chill
Fair enough.
out. Let's chill out. Let's
Fair
go down
enough.
the order here. Sexton goes 4-3. Obviously had bike issues. We've all seen the videos and everything. Okay. But we had bike issues in Supercross too. It's not a good look, in my opinion, that the guys that beat you are the dudes coming off injuries.
For sure. That has to feel pretty shitty.
I literally got a text after first qualifying yesterday from a buddy of mine. Goes, well, Sexton's confidence just got buried. Yeah. And I went, yep. And I don't know.
I think that's a big deal with Chase.
I think he's pretty mentally strong because he just keeps beating his head against the wall. But I do think, and he'll probably hear this and never want to talk to me, I do think there is a bit of a mental block with him when Jet gets on that line.
I tend to agree with that, yeah.
And I'm not sure that it's necessary. I'm not sure that it necessarily... I think it started last year. I don't think he had it before last year. But I think last year, when they raced in the summer, and Jet just spanked him every single fucking time, I think it started it. And then I think when we went to Supercross this year, and Jet beat him and beat him and beat him, and then won the title, and Chase couldn't get a win until the last round. I mean, I know he won in the mud. Okay, whatever. But couldn't beat him on a dry track till the last round when he was wrapping the title. It's not a good look for him, man.
Dude, it sucks. That's got to be super tough.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know what I would do.
He doesn't suck, let's be honest. Like,
no.
He's also amazing, but like you said, generational talent doesn't come along.
Kevin Windham was
all
an
the
amazing
time.
rider also.
Unbelievable.
And Chase has more titles than Kevin Windham does now. So
True.
So that's cool. But like I said, let me put it this way. I'll be highly surprised without Jet making some dumb mistake and wadding himself to see Chase beat him. Highly surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, Jet's good at these SMX things too.
He is.
He literally let Ken Roxon beat him last year.
I know.
Because he thought it would help get him the overall.
Baby gift.
Yeah, baby gift. My big brain wasn't working. I wanted somebody to ask him in the presser for it to be like, so you're going to give out baby gifts during SMX this year? But nobody did. That was a real sad thing. I should have been on that one. Been like, hey. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they'll make the bike better, but I have doubts about that too. I mean, especially with talking to Eric about how these bikes work on the hard packs. And I mean, I don't know if Texas is going to be hard pack or not, but even if it's normal Texas dirt,
so
it's still hot in Texas right now, right?
Yeah.
Let me go see here.
Sure does.
Let's see what the weather says for this weekend. Let's go here. This is great radio. Dallas, Texas. Let's see what it says here. This week, Saturday, 95 and sunny.
Oof.
Good luck, boys.
Ouch.
They said it was hot in North Carolina too, which I heard it wasn't like drastically hot, but it was really humid, is what I heard. And I don't know. I didn't look at the weather. 95 and sunny.
Yikes.
In Dallas this weekend, which means even if the dirt is normal Dallas dirt, there's no way that doesn't bake in. And it's an afternoon race too.
Right. Yeah.
So it starts at 3, which is the hottest point of the day.
What do you think normal Dallas dirt is?
Well, you look at like AT&T Stadium when they ride or when they race there, Dallas Supercross, that dirt's pretty good. It's pretty soft, gets some really nice ruts. Everybody really likes it. So even if you got that though, baking in the sun, there's no way that doesn't get hard.
Yeah, right.
I'll be interested to see. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's not going to be good for the...
Look, hearing about the heat, I'm not super sad. I am not going to any of these at this point.
That's true, too.
I mean, I am, but I'm not. Because like this weekend, being at a racetrack in 95-degree weather sounds terrible.
Agreed.
Hunter goes 3-6 for 4th.
He looked good.
It was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a little nervous after Iron Man that we might fizzle a little bit here because we cooked ourselves. He was cooked.
Yeah.
He was cooked. And Lars openly admitted in the thing that he shot his load at Iron Man and he was tired, which I went, ooh, it's not great. Yeah. But
well, that goes back to the thoughts or the people guessing that maybe there's some physical
health issues
things going on.
I'm not saying there's not still.
Yeah.
He's kind of he seems to me at this point to be a Ken Roxon type. There's underlying health issues a lot. Which again, I don't really fault any of these guys for that. Okay, we all know with Kenny, there's a lot of shit that happens, and with knowing how these guys get trained, knowing what they go through, shit like that happens. I mean, we were talking before the show here. You know, I was talking about how I cooked myself on Wednesday last week in the shop, working all day, and like Thursday and Friday sucked, and I know what that's like.
Yep.
I get here Thursday morning and I'm like, I can't even open my eyes.
Can you imagine
tired.
doing that with your heart rate
as
high as theirs are? And
no, because I didn't do shit Thursday.
Right.
And what I mean by that is I didn't do any workouts. I didn't go jogging. Thursday's a cardio day for me. I jog like 3 miles in the morning. Didn't do that. Didn't ride my dirt bike. Didn't do anything Thursday. Said, fuck it. I'm over it. So, no, I can't imagine. This is a positive thing. to see him go 3.6.
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye on it.
I feel like he's pretty good at these hybrid style tracks too. Like,
yeah. The thing is, too, is like, okay, so he ends up 4th overall, but the 3 guys that beat him, like, I don't expect him to beat those 3 guys at all.
not on a regular basis.
No.
He could be in the mix here and there, but definitely not on a regular basis.
Yep. Kenny goes 5.5 for 5th. Speaking of health issues, I listened to an interview with him with Lewis Phillips, and he said that the day after he announced that he was riding the Nationals, he started to feel the issues he has bubbling to the surface there with his fatigue issues and stuff. And he's like, shit, too late now. I'm committed. So he's been fighting with that.
I heard he had some blood work done and that they sort of figured some things out. But how do you sort those out in such a short amount of time? I mean,
look, Kenny gets blood work done.
Changing diet and supplements like with just a few days, like it's not going to turn around like that.
No, Kenny gets blood work done all the time. Okay, like this isn't anything new. It's just, I feel like something's wrong. I'm fatigued, which what it probably honestly is. And again, I don't know. Never talked to anybody, and he'll probably hear this and not want to talk to me or call me a fucking idiot. Also, it's probably something related to Epstein-Barr or what was the other one that Marchbanks had. Hutchinson's disease or something like that, which is a fatigue issue. And like Epstein-Barr, once you have that, like it doesn't go away. It just subsides. It's kind of like herpes, man. It just, you don't have a breakout essentially. So probably what it is he probably had Epstein-Barr at some point. And between that and 27 surgeries on your arm and everything else, dude, I'm sorry, your body's just tore the fuck up, which is fine. Your immune system's fucked. Like, I understand. And it's cool that we get to see you do what you do when you do it.
Yeah.
You know, but I also understand this. And like for everybody who's out there saying like, oh, you just excuse or cry or whatever, or he's just being honest. And like, that's all we ask from these guys is to be honest. Yeah. And so he's just being honest of like, look, dude, this flares up. It flared up.
I think it's definitely more of an honesty thing than
an
excuse-making thing. I think he's just telling us more than everybody else is willing to say.
I think it is too. So, but he goes 5.5 for 5th, and okay, cool. That's kind of right in that range of where I expect him to be. But he's also one of those that like he could yank a whole shot and win one of these, and it would not. I'd be in the same spot, being like, yeah, so he went 1.5. All right,
yeah,
like it wouldn't surprise me. Yep. So.
I hope to see it. I hope it happens.
I would too. Every year when he wins a race or gets close to winning a race, I love seeing it.
Always loved Kenny.
Yep. Justin Cooper goes 7.4 for 6th. Okay, this is right where I think Justin Cooper should be.
Ripped good start.
Ripped good starts. This is a very Justin Cooper-esque ride. That hot lap he put in.
Yeah.
Fastest qualifier.
Yeah.
Sneaky good.
Dude, he's crazy good at qualifying.
He is.
Once he sorts everything else out, I don't know what it is, but once he gets that sorted, he's going to be a tough one to deal with.
Do you think he'll get it sorted, though? Because we saw this in the 250s, his entire 250 career, too, where all of a sudden he'd be fastest or whatever, and then he'd win a race, but most of the time he was just on the podium or whatever. I think he's just like a Dungey 2.0, and like he'll be very opportunistic. Yeah. And what I mean by that is he'll win 450 races at some point. He will win
for sure.
1, 2, whatever. He'll be right there in championship battles. I think that'll be a thing too. But do I actually see him doing titles and stuff? Probably not, but that's the era he's falling into. Like Dungey got lucky that RV retired and Stu retired, and then there was kind of like this lull here. So he could, because he won the 100%. First one because RV got hurt his rookie year.
Yep.
That's why he won 2010 or whatever. And then obviously didn't really win a whole bunch more titles until the end after RV retired, and then he's starting to crack them off because you have Eli who had inconsistencies at that point. So I think he's going to be in that same realm, but I just don't know that he wins that many titles.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
But still hell of a rider, and we'll still continue to get rides year after year after year after year.
Always.
Here. Malcolm goes 8.7 for 7th.
Malcolm.
Okay.
It's Malcolm.
Very Stu-ish ride. He's doing all the laps this year.
Yeah.
Doing all the
I just
laps.
like seeing him out there.
Yep.
I love watching the hair flow.
The dreads
Yeah.
just float out the back. It's cool. It is cool. Rough for him on that practice crash, though. I mean, just got his wheel chopped.
That was bad luck, yeah.
Yeah.
And he almost saved it. Like, he grabbed a handful of front brake and rode that front wheel for a second, but it had death wobble, and there's
Nothing you
no
could do.
saving that.
AP goes 6'11" for 8th. No surprise there. Rough because he got caught. He got the worst end of that.
Yeah.
Stu, practice start there.
Did you hear what hurt
No idea.
on him after that? Yeah,
No idea.
There was not a lot of information.
I'm
after that.
sure the comments will be full telling me how stupid we fucking are.
Yeah.
And that this is what it was, and it was posted here, some dumb shit like that. So bring it on.
I'll read them.
Yeah. Colt Nichols goes 10-10 for 9th. Okay.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, that's good for Colt. So coming out of the LCQ.
New bike.
Yeah. So that's not bad. Webb goes 14-8 for 10th. Docked in that first moto. Bro, you can't skip half the track, Coop.
What?
Dude, I don't know,
Why?
man.
I mean, why would you even think you would get away with
No
that? Maybe he just didn't give a
idea.
shit.
Probably. Look,
I want to hear. They need an interview with him.
I'll be real
I wanna
honest.
know.
These are not Cooper Webb style tracks.
That's true.
I don't expect him to ever be an SMX guy.
He's a supercross guy.
He is. He likes that tight technical stuff.
And
he's not an outdoor dude. He's not an SMX guy.
It's true.
So he's here. He's doing it because like the paycheck will be nice at the end.
Yeah.
But, that's pretty much it. Dylan goes 11-12 for 11th.
Never even saw him on the broadcast.
Nope. Marshall Welton, Michigan's own, goes 13-14 for 12th. Got hit in the nuts with a rock, one of the motos.
Oh.
Took a lap and a half to, I think it was first moto, took a lap and a half to ride that out, he said. And then second moto, him and the guys at FXR were trying to figure out what to do. So they put 2 maxi pads in front of it.
Are you serious? Oh my god!
Trying to protect it. He's like, dude, all the pants are so thin nowadays. He's like, it just takes a little rock, and you're like, oh, and it's like a guaranteed half a lap recovery from it. And I'm like, yeah, he's not wrong.
I probably have pulled off.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me,
maybe,
dude? But that's awesome. Like, look at this field.
yeah, and he's 12th
That's incredible.
on a
You should be
privateer
proud, Marsh.
Yamaha. Yeah, he should. That's fucking great.
That's amazing.
Shane, 15-13 for 13th. Okay.
It's about normal.
Yeah,
that's what I'd expect.
Shane. Craig goes 29 for 14th. He had a crash the first one.
Oh,
Ramsey
yeah.
was saying he had a crash and there was something else.
Paige posted something about took a foot peg to the head, like he got almost kind of run over or clipped, and yeah.
Yeah, so that's rough.
But the second moto was good.
He'll be better on that star bike next year. Freddie goes 12-18 for 15th. Grant Harlan goes 16-15 for 16th. Jerry Robin 18-16 for 17th. Harry Koulis 17-17 for 18th. Dino goes 19-19 for 19th. Chiz is 21-20 for 20th. Phil goes 9 DNF for 21st. And
That
Justin
sucks.
Hill goes 22 DNF for 22nd. Phil, I think his shock blew out.
I was wondering.
That was what I heard. They were trying to figure it out in post-race interviews, Steve was, and I heard that somebody saw him go ass over tea kettle and then get up and go to get on the bike, and the bike was just like boing, boing, boing as he was trying to get on it. So, yeah. So I think he blew the
That
shock
sucks.
out. So,
That
poor
sucks.
Phil.
Yeah.
Poor Phil. So,
Because he was riding really good, and I wanted to see him close this career out with some good results.
yeah. Yeah. So, all right. And that's been your 450 race recap brought to you by our friends at Gutterworks.
Did you hear? I think RC and Bubba were drinking together before the broadcast this time.
Why would they say?
I wrote down a couple things. RC called Chase Section. And then
Okay.
Bubba said lackadaisious instead of lackadaisical, I believe is how it's pronounced. I was like, bro, what are you guys even doing?
Look. Okay.
I'm not saying I could do better, so don't flame me in the comments. I'm just saying it.
No one will flame you because the internet flames them. But I'm going to
This is
say,
true.
as being a guy that sits here for 3 hours, not doing live TV and trying to do this stuff, there are certain
I get
things that, like, there's weird things at times that your brain just fades out. and you just like forget what you're saying, what you're talking about. You're talking so fast you mispronounce something. And like with TV, I do understand they have earpieces in. The TV guys, the behind the scenes guys are literally in their ears like, hey, we're going to break in 3, 2. So you have to conversate what you're saying out loud while listening to
I agree. I'm not saying it's easy.
I don't know if I could do it, man. It's wild. So like, I'm not going to be too critical on those guys for mispronouncing some stuff.
I thought it was more funny than anything.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's always funny when you hear that. And I'm sure they sit there and they go, same thing I do. You fucking idiot. And I do it to podcast people too. Like I'll be sitting there listening to somebody talk about something that I know about, and I'm like literally saying what they're like, because I'm like, brain fade. I feel your pain, brother. Like I know exactly what it's like, because when you do it as much as we do, you have all the information, but sometimes the brain, I mean, there are times that I can't think of names on it. This afternoon, I brain faded my kid's name when talking to Ashley.
Oh boy.
Literally, and she was like looking at me like, what the hell is wrong with you? And I was like, I'm like, dude, I'm blanking on the kid's name right now.
What?
She's like, what? And I'm like, sorry.
Oh boy. Oh dear.
It happens. It happens. Look, it happens, okay? And like I said, when you do as much talking and broadcasting and podcasting, all that shit that all of us do, sometimes things just fade away, dude.
I get it.
So, all right. So let's get into our Complete Racing Solutions halftime report. Make sure to check them out, CompleteRacingSolutions.com. Remember, Coach Rob's got the 2025 Elite Rider Program. Sign-ups are open now, and if you're a pussy, don't bother applying because you won't get accepted anyway. All right. Let's see here. Halftime report. Let me just check off. Oh, shit. Stop it. Stop it. Go away. I'm just trying to see with my notes here.
He's lying. He's playing Asteroids.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Okay, so we talked about the 2025 Supercross schedule being leaked there, which was weird. And what I mean by weird is I do like that there's only 16 rounds. I do like that we still have the 2 1-week breaks in there. So we go like, I don't even remember. It is weird it doesn't start the first weekend of January, though, if that is the actual schedule.
Yeah, I wonder.
That's super weird. Monster Jams at Angel Stadium, which was ironic because I got an email from Feld because it's probably because I'm signed up for buying tickets to Supercross, so they send you all the Feld emails.
Yep.
So I did get an email the other day with the Monster Jam schedules out. So I start watching that because I'm like trying to pick out like, okay, what stadiums are they going to?
Yeah.
You know, because that's how they do it. They rent the stadium for X amount of time and, you know, whatever. So I was trying to pick that out. I did not pick up on that. So that's interesting. The 2 rounds in Pennsylvania, that's interesting.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
I had heard rumors before that there was a possibility we were going to Pennsylvania. But that wasn't solidified. I've heard for a couple years now that Pennsylvania's been in the works. Philadelphia, and I don't know what the other city is. Is it? There's another major one there, isn't there? I don't remember.
Pittsburgh?
Hold on, let me. Oh, maybe. Yeah. I think that's it. Let me go find the schedule here.
The leaked one?
Yeah.
I wonder where it came from.
I don't remember. Tampa's on there too. That's
cool.
interesting. I didn't notice that. But they say the Florida rounds outside Daytona don't do well, which is interesting. But I do like that Tampa's on there. I could go to Florida.
Tampa's fairly centrally located, so you would think you would draw.
Dude, you would think, but they say that outside of Daytona, and that's only because it's Bike Week, they do not draw anytime they go to Florida.
That's wild.
They say attendance sucks. We're going back to Alabama, it says. Foxborough. So here's an interesting thing, and this kind of makes me wonder if this schedule's fake. They have Foxborough and East Rutherford. And I had heard that those two were alternating. We would go to one year and one the next year. So that's interesting. Plus the two, like there is a Philadelphia and a Pittsburgh. They have Acrisure. I don't know what it is. AC a crisis, sure. ACRISURE Stadium. I don't know what that fuck that is.
No
in
idea.
Pittsburgh. which is probably where the Steelers play, I would assume. And then we have Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, which Lincoln Financial Field is the one that I had heard we would be going to if we were going. But I've also heard that part of town's sketchy.
Well, a lot of these stadiums are in the shittiest parts of town.
That's true, too. I mean, go to Detroit. It's not fun. Go to St. Louis.
No thanks. I'm good.
Actually, St. Louis, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't as terrible as they make it seem. But I've been to some rough areas in St. Louis, too, with some other things. So, but you know what else is interesting here? No Northern California on the schedule, which is interesting, but at the same time not unexpected, because I heard it was a pain in the ass for whatever that stadium was. Was it Giant Stadium we were in last year? I heard it was a pain in the ass and expensive.
Probably.
And part of the pain in the ass was the fact that the pits were so far away and you had to wash the bike to be able to go.
Yeah.
Because, we can't have dirt washing into the ocean, but fuck, your needles, no problem.
Oh, yeah.
No issue. You want to stick a
And you
needle
can
in your
shit on
arm
the
with AIDS?
sidewalks.
Yeah, and shit there, no issue.
No big deal.
So, and Oakland is just fuck that place,
Yeah.
dude. Like,
What's
sorry.
not expensive in California, though? Let's be
Sorry
real.
for all my Northern California homies, but your areas up there just
we love you guys. We
suck.
just don't love the
There are parts of Northern California that are
government.
beautiful and nice, but San Francisco and the Bay Area is just such a shithole, man. Absolute shithole. So anyway, so that schedule's super interesting. I'll be super interested to see if that does actually come out and be the thing. But,
It's probably a rough draft.
I've seen that before, too. There's been a couple
brainstorm.
years I've gotten schedules like that leaked to me, and it was like they came out and they were different. Now, in all fairness, too, there is a slot in there. I think it's one of the breaks where there could be Daytona. But one thing that was brought up to me is that obviously for the SMX stuff, because what's it called? MX Sports is tied in with Daytona Motorsports Group, right? Because they lease the pro motocross thing, right? I have heard that maybe we'll go to Daytona for SMX then, because they want one of the SMX rounds at Daytona per se. Who knows? I don't know. These are just a guess that this is just stuff we're spitballing out of the air. Okay,
do you
so
think
there's nothing behind this. There's
Yeah,
just,
for sure.
hey, if we start putting tea leaves together, Daytona Motorsports Group is involved in a sense because you've got MX Sports tied to them. Obviously, look at where we're at here with these SMX races. We're at Daytona Motorsports Group owned drag strips, racetracks. I mean, we're going to Texas Motor Speedway next week. We're at the Charlotte the Charlotte Speedway complex this week, which is a Daytona. I don't know if the Vegas thing is. We went to Chicago last year. Like, look at where we're at. These are all Daytona Motorsports Group's things. So it would make sense that they're like, oh, well, instead of doing it for Supercross, which kind of is this weird round that it's not really a Feld Supercross thing.
And it's kind of an SMX-ish track
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. So
Always
it would
has been.
It would make sense, but I don't know.
We think they're going to do like the Ricky Carmichael and the amateur, the same sort of layout.
I don't know.
On top of all the stuff they do with SMX.
That's a whole nother question there.
Make it a week long.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's super
Be
interesting
to find out. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So also here, can we talk about how our MXON teams just fucked because we got Hymus and AP both had just shit days yesterday?
Yeah, I try not to think about that. It crossed my mind.
So good luck with that. We already we brought up the 65cc rider DQ'd, and he actually wasn't DQ'd. He was just docked 2 spots.
Yeah.
And I've already, Holster Co. Reload ranted about this, of like, that's fucking stupid. It's fucking dumb. If you don't want that, then the 65 kids shouldn't be riding the track. How are you going to let them jump those other doubles? You want to tell me those other doubles were way smaller than that? No way.
They're not.
That double section over there coming back across the track, dude, those were fucking huge too. They could jump those. No problem.
Local kid, I think, yeeted himself in one of those areas too.
Did he? I thought he finished 3rd.
No, Parker Beckington.
Do we have 2 kids that were there from Michigan?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Michigan Mafia, represent,
Yes,
motherfuckers.
absolutely. Yeah. Dude, we got some gnarly kids here in Michigan. It's pretty cool.
Doug
should
said
follow
that
all
we.
those kids.
Doug said that we were the second
Joey
biggest.
Vicari's the other one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was the one that finished third.
I think so. You'd have to look at the results. I don't.
Because I
recall.
remember there was one they said finished third. Here,
I meant to put notes down for that too, and I didn't. I thought it was super cool to watch, though. Like Eric said, it was as interesting as the rest of the racing.
Yeah, let's see here. Can I? They don't have the 65 results. That's stupid. I'm sure I can find them at some point, but I'm not tracking them down right now. Yeah. So anyway, that's just like I said. That's dumb. If you don't want them to jump it, then don't have them race it because the kids are going to jump it.
Yeah.
I mean, do you dock the 50 junior kids if they jump a double in the rhythm section? No, it's just cool.
And they didn't say anything about about Gray hitting that big triple last year, right? There was nothing that came of that.
No, not that I know of.
So
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get it.
somebody explain it to me.
I don't know, man. I can't even tell you. Can't even begin to tell you. So, Holster Co. reload rant. All right. So, let's get in my other Holster Co. reload rant here. And I feel pretty safe talking about this, right? This is a safe space.
Oh,
And this is just some more constructive criticism, okay?
Good.
What's it called? The season's too long. Okay? Too many races. And this weekend, it was funny. That was a big topic of conversation. Okay? Now look. I understand the promoters wanting to have more races. Okay? This is how you make money. This is how you make money. So I understand the more races we can pack in, the better.
and as a fan, I want to watch it all year round, every
Me
weekend.
too.
But I get
We could race 52 weeks a year and I'd be like, this is awesome.
Yes.
But I also understand what these guys go through to be able to perform at the level they perform at.
it's insane.
And it's nuts. And it cannot continue like this.
It's true.
We kind of touched on this with Eric of how it's just way, way, way too many races. Now, I know that, what's his nuts there? Gosh, now I'm blanking here. Stanton is going to come in and do the show at some point and just absolutely crucify me for saying there's too many races. My rebuttal to him, because he made the comment of like, look, in my heyday, I was racing 50-something times a year.
Yeah, on his off weekends, he'd go find something
Which
to
I
race.
understand. However, going and racing Paris Supercross, going and doing German Supercross, you don't give a shit about those. So if you roll in there and you get fifth place, you're just like, fuck it, I
You're
got
getting
fifth place.
paid to show up
I still
anyway.
got paid. Yes,
Right.
exactly. So the amount of training or prep that you're doing, the amount of stress on the body to go to, it's just another ride day for you.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
And we know this. We see this with these guys year in and year out, Paris, whatever. So, I understand what he's saying of like, yeah, I raced a whole bunch. But let's face it, once we get past essentially the SMX at this point, and to be honest, once we get past next weekend, when we get to the final SMX, half these dudes aren't going to care. They're going to be like, I don't give a shit. I'll just get whatever money I can get. It's fine. Don't care. So the fact of the 3 major series that we're doing now are this many races, it's too much. Like I said, I think we need 14 or 15 Supercross rounds, 10 motocross rounds, and 3 playoffs, which will bring us to a grand total of 28. Gives us extra weeks off all around, which I think is great.
Yeah, those guys definitely need it. Like I said, as a fan, I want to watch it all the time. But no, talking to some of these guys, it's like, it's tough. Like, who else, what other sport, you tell me, puts their body through that
No.
type of thing with this type of danger literally every time you swing your leg over the bike?
No.
There isn't.
It's not. It's not. It's just not.
There's
So-
nothing that compares.
And like, here's the thing I don't like. I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this too, but whatever. Is that they came out and PR'd last year that, oh yeah, all the teams and riders are excited for this and everything. And like, okay, here's what they're excited for, man. The more money, all right?
Money.
But you literally talk to any team manager or any rider, and they're like, we did not need more races. We need
Yep.
less. And it was made very abundantly clear. And that's why I feel a little bit safe talking about this is like, look,
Oh, a lot of people said it.
you may put out the PR that like everybody was on board with this. Nobody was on board with this.
No.
That, like, not with more races.
Right.
They wanted less. They all want less. And that goes team managers, mechanics, riders. Everybody wants less.
Everybody probably assumed that it was going to be dialed back, dial a couple of outdoors back, dial a couple of supercrosses
well, and that's what
back,
that's how they sold it to the teams is, well, we cut an outdoor race. Okay.
One.
And we aren't going to do Monster Cup anymore. So we're essentially only adding one race, which I understand. But again, not everybody did Monster Cup. And Monster Cup was one of those that nobody gave a shit about. They came in, they were not doing hard motos or anything like that. It was an off-season race that you went to, and if you won the first moto, you went, all right, well, maybe if I can win these next two, I'll win $1 million. And then you win the second one, and you're like, okay, cool. And then you're amped up for the third one. But outside of that, nobody gave a shit.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to say, it's very blatantly obvious, and especially, like I said, I don't know if you saw the clip of that press conference when Gypsy asked Chase and Eli and Jet about this. Jet and Chase went hard. In fact, I think Chase made the comment of like, well, at some point, what it's going to take is the top 7 or 8 of us to basically say, we're not racing until you get this figured the fuck out.
Yeah.
And, like, that'll make it happen. And, like, man, it would be interesting to see that day. I'm not going to sit here and say I want to see that day, because, again, I like all the racing too, but it would be interesting to see that actually happen, of the top 10 dudes go.
Who's actually going to organize this?
That's the problem we've run into forever.
We
Reed
need a
tried to
riders'
do this
union.
back in the day. The problem is that you need somebody. If it's going to happen, you're going to need somebody like Jet to say, look, we're not racing until they get this figured out and we get down to, and you're going to have to pick a magic number that you're going to be like, all right, this is acceptable. Which, again, is it 28? Is it 25? I don't know. I'm not fully opposed to something I think Mathis has thrown out. You go in, you do 2 or 3 supercrosses. Then we go do a national at Texas. Then we go do 2 or 3 more supercrosses. Then we go do a national in Florida. Then you go do 2 or 3 more supercrosses.
That seems like a lot more
Then
work
you go
for
do a
the
national
teams.
at Paula. You used to do it back in the day. Outdoors used to start midway through Supercross at Gatorback. You do like 6 or 7 Supercrosses, and to be honest, back in the day too, Supercross was only 15 rounds. Was only 15 rounds.
Yeah.
Up until I don't even know when. But I know through the 90s it was like 15 rounds. So, I don't know, man.
And the tracks weren't nearly as demanding either. Or dangerous, we should say.
It was different. The
Totally different.
two strokes made everything different.
Different. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Again, I'm trying to be as cool, calm, and collected about this as I can be. But it's like, it's very blatantly apparent that the only people that want this many races would be the promoters. So it might be, and the fact that it's being openly talked about this, because I've been doing this now since 2017. This is the first time I've started to see this openly talked about, especially in a press conference.
Yeah.
This hasn't been talked about. Has it been talked about on podcasts? Yes. Guys have always said, like, yeah, it'd be cool to have less races and stuff. However, now it's like being talked about in press conferences.
Yes.
So,
You're hearing it right from the horse's mouth.
and they were, like I said, Jet and Chase were very open. And it would be wild to watch those two basically, and I think they could do it, but if those two said, you know what, dude, this is stupid. Why are we racing this much at this high level? And if those two said, okay, and then think about it, went over to Deegan and got Deegan too and said, hey, this is what we're going to do. You want in? And Deegs went, yep. You get those 3.
I kind of get the feeling he maybe doesn't think the same way they do.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to know.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. So, all right. Only other thing I had here for our Complete Racing Solutions halftime report Savachi and Triumph split, which I'd heard was coming because the 450's not ready.
Yeah.
I heard they weren't really stoked on him this outdoor season, but there was a lot of mechanical issues there too, which I'm like, okay, so like, can you really blame him for all of this? I don't know. And what did you think he was going to do? He hasn't raced in 3 years, 4 years, something like that. It's like, what did you really think? I mean, we all overhyped him, but what did you really think he was going to do?
I kind of assumed they were bringing him in as more of a development rider to help further develop the bike and
That's what you would
sort
think.
things out. And
Well, I had heard that his deal was he had a 450 deal with them, but the 450 is behind.
That's what I thought.
So, and again, okay, cool. If that's really the case, why don't you just, and guys have talked about this, and everybody says it's a stupid idea, but I don't really think it is. Why don't you just take him and have him ride the 250 in the 450 class? He's fast enough to qualify on it. He'll
Oh, yeah,
qualify
sure. Yeah.
for the night show. He'll probably make mains. Is it the best idea? No. Do you fulfill the 450 side of his contract, essentially? Sure. And, like, I would assume from the things that I've kind of heard that the 450 will be out for outdoors, essentially. Like, the 450's coming out.
Right.
It's just behind. So, okay, so he rides 250 in Supercross, and then you get the 450 done, and then he rides 450 outdoors? Like, on a 450? Okay. And then you can really start developing that? I don't know. To me, this is a weird move. It's a
weird.
super weird move.
Yep.
So, I don't know. We'll wait and see what comes of it. I also think there's a high probability he goes to Club, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Club doesn't have any 450 guys. Him and Zacho are real tight. Zacho's real tight with Club. Start connecting these dots. All of a sudden, all roads lead to Club. So I could really see him doing that too. Wouldn't surprise me, let's put it that way, if we get a press release here in October that he's, well, I guess there's a press release already. He's not with them anymore, so wouldn't surprise me at any moment to get a press release that he signed with Club MX.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yep. So, all right, that's been your Complete Racing Solutions halftime report. Hopefully I didn't say anything too terrible there. It gets me in too much trouble, but we'll see what the fuck happens. What's new? Okay. 250 Race Recap brought to you by our friends at Flo Racing. Make sure to check them out, profloracing.com. PW50 parts and other mini bike accessories and parts and cool things and build you cool bikes. He does a bit of all of it.
Yeah.
So,
Scott's awesome.
yep. All right, so 250's here. Baby Daddy comes out and fucking smacks everybody with a 1-1 there.
They smacked Jalik right off the start. A little bit of a little bump and
A little bump and just, yeah, that was it for Jalik's day.
oof.
That was rough too.
Yeah.
That was a hard one.
Yeah.
But and again,
And I'm not hating on Jalik. It wasn't his fault.
I also am not hating on him, and like I don't want to see anybody get hurt. So like that was
Right.
terrible. Like let's
Same.
just clear that. Even though he
Yes.
hates me, I don't want to see him get
That's where I
hurt,
was
and
going
he's
with
been
that.
having a really great year. So like
Yep.
that's cool to see.
Sucks to see.
Yeah, it
that
does suck to
he's-
see. So anyway, yeah, so Hayden goes 1-1. Man, those were just but oh man, I'm a little concerned. I wanna make sure we keep getting these good podium interviews. Because that podium interview at the end was definitely not, I was like, oh man, that was like a 450 interview. Like, oh man, we're gonna go back to work this week. There were some things I really wasn't happy on. Starts. You could just say my starts fucking sucked.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we all know that's what it was, because the rest of it was fine.
It was crazy good.
Dude, it was so good.
His line choice was creative.
Yeah.
Nobody else was riding the same lines. I'm sure there were guys behind him that picked up on a few things here and there, but
Yep.
dude, he was so much.
There were
faster
multiple
than
guys
everybody.
that picked up on that line that he had that they kept going crazy about, going
But
up on the
on the
thing.
bank to cut
Yeah.
down
There were a
on
whole
there,
bunch
yeah.
of guys that I saw doing that. So, but yeah, dude, that was a good ride. And like I said, I think this
Unreal.
is what we see the next 18 months in this 250 class with him. He's gonna do it here. He's gonna repeat, or he's gonna do Supercross next year. He'll repeat the outdoors, and he'll do it in SMX again next year. Isn't that crazy to think he's gonna win? More than likely win 3 SMX titles before he goes 450.
Yes.
So that was wild. Juju goes 2-4 for second.
That was awesome.
He was, dude, that
was
was
ripping.
the best ride I've seen him have in a long time.
Yep.
Great starts.
It's amazing.
Absolutely awesome. Wildest thing about all of it, he qualified for the Worlds for jet ski racing too.
Yeah.
Like, how many of these dudes have we ever seen be this proficient in two sports? That's crazy.
None that I can think of.
I can't think of any either. They leave and go do other stuff, but they're never
Sure.
doing it at the same time.
No, within the same month, even.
It's
At
crazy,
that.
dude. That is absolutely nuts.
It's pretty cool.
It is. It is. And I didn't know he still rode jet skis like that. So I had seen a video in the off weekends of him riding jet skis. I was like, oh, that's cool. He's out doing his thing, you know, but we see this stuff with these guys all the time. But to hear, oh, no. He flew a red eye, rode the world qualifier, and then flew red eye back. What?
He shreds.
He's so good.
Super fast on a jet ski.
Havasu kids, bro.
Yeah.
Havasu life. Kitchen goes 5-2 for third. That was an okay ride.
Yeah.
He will never be great until he figures out how to move through the pack. That's what I've learned about Levi. Because if he starts, so like that first one before it got red flagged, I was like, ooh, this is going to be good. Now, don't get me wrong. After seeing Danger Boy's day, Levi wasn't stopping him. He might have gotten 2-2, but Levi wasn't stopping him.
Right.
But then that second start, and you see what he does, which is just a whole bunch of nothing sauce.
That's got to be super hard to be like basically pulling the whole shot and then getting red flagged.
Oh, yeah.
And like that's got to suck.
Yeah. Yeah. It's.
You have to completely reset.
I wouldn't want to do it.
And me neither.
I wouldn't want to do it at all. I'd be like, what do I do with my hands? I don't know. This is weird.
Yeah.
But like I said, he has an issue, and he'll probably hear this, and he won't want to talk to me either. What's his name? He has an issue of he cannot come through the pack, and that's just a statistical thing. Like yesterday, that second restart in that first moto, he was like 7th, 8th that first lap, and he got to 5th. That was it. That was as far as he went.
Yep.
And then second moto, yeah, he yanks a great start, and he's right up there, and he ends up second. But like we saw this all summer too. We've seen it basically his entire career here of his starts kind of fully depict
They dictate
his
the whole
day.
Yeah.
Yep. So if he gets that figured out, he has a possibility to do some things. But until he gets that figured out, I just see him doing a lot of what he's done this year, which is like he's good.
You think it's the start technique? You think it's the bike?
I have no idea. I don't understand why you can't come through. You're that fast.
Do we see other PC bikes that are getting those kind of starts?
I don't know because
We're getting the starts that like
because here's the thing. Even on Star, it was like he would yank a start here and there, and when he yanked the start, then he'd finish on the box.
yeah,
no
that's true.
problem.
That's true.
This has just been his career. So I don't know how you fix it. I don't know if he'll fix it, but we'll see. Joe Schmoda, 4 weeks off collarbone surgery, goes 3.5 for fourth.
4 weeks is fast.
That's a lot. That's short. That's shorter than a thumb injury.
Yeah, like was it not as bad as you would imagine a collarbone to be? Was it?
I mean, collarbones are one of those things when you're these guys on these teams and you have access to the medical people you do,
That's true.
you can get them plated and a week later you're riding. And it's weak. So if you hit the ground, you're probably going to break it somewhere around that plate.
or bend the plate.
Yeah, or bend the plate. But you can get it done and ride. So that was a good ride. I really thought at one point there, I was like, man, Joe is going to actually start a series pretty good.
I know. I was hoping.
So, which fourth is okay. This is okay. So he'll probably be right in the mix, honestly, for this title, right at the end. Because he's Joe Schmoda.
Yep.
This is what he does. So,
Yep.
Vial goes 4.7 for fifth. That was a very underwhelming day.
Very. Yeah.
Like, I don't really have much on him other than that was underwhelming.
He and Kitchen battled a little bit for a while, which is cool. It's kind of a fierce battle, but I mean, yeah, there just wasn't anything too exciting.
He was the same
outside
way
of
with
that.
Kitchen, though, as Kitchen. He didn't go anywhere after he started.
Yeah.
So, and everybody's like, oh, the track's one line, this and that. Deegan was getting it done.
Deegan was all over the place.
And he was, he was
making lines.
He was not following anybody.
No.
Like, he was zigzagging rhythm sections to get out
Yep.
from behind people. So,
Yep. I don't subscribe to the one line thing.
yeah.
Like you just have to get more creative.
Yep.
Maybe the rut's not as good outside. Well, figure it out.
Yeah. I don't know. Be interested to see where he goes from here. Because these tracks, without having whoops, should be right in his wheelhouse, but
Yeah.
we'll see. Jordan Smith goes 6th for 6th overall.
Pretty good.
It's a Jordan Smith day there. Max Anstey, 11-3 for 7th. That second moto, really, really good. He was kind of irrelevant the first moto. Bad start and just in the back. I was kind of keeping an eye on him of just like, oh, yeah, Anstey's way back there. McAdoo comes out of the LCQ, goes 7-10 for 8th. That was an okay day for him, considering how long he's been out for. He seemed pretty okay with it, considering how long he's been out for. I don't know. It was just okay. And, like, it's not like I expected a whole lot out of him. He's one of those guys I expect him to hit the ground. I know that sounds terrible, but I just am waiting for it all the time with him. Like we talked about in Supercross.
Some guys are just crashers.
Yep. So, RJ went to the danger zone and got all spun out like Maverick. Lost Goose. And ends up 10/8 for 9th.
Yeah, that sucks. Because when he rips, he rips.
He is the one guy in this class that I think can go head-to-head with Deegan. Not only on a speed level, but on a I don't give a shit what you're going to say about me or how hard you're going to ride me. You want to hit me in this corner? I'm going to hit you in the next one.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was when we were on the phone with Eric. How crazy do you want to get? We can get crazy.
Yeah. He is very Stu-esque, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we'll send it with no fear. But he hits the ground a lot.
Look at that story Eric told us. Just Supermaning off the bike through the whoops and just like, what? I don't get it. What are you guys upset about?
Yeah.
So, Marchbanks goes 9-9 for 10th. This is all just bonus time for him, so whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, he got fired, so it's a thing. Pierce Brown, fastest qualifier. That was interesting. Didn't see that one. Didn't have that one on my bingo card.
No, definitely did not.
8-14 for 11th, but they finished out for the very Pierce Brown day there. Ty Masterpool goes 12-11 for 12th. He was at the top of the board in qualifying too, which I was like, that makes sense. He's Ty Masterpool, and there's no whoops, so this seems seems like it. But we'll see. Ryder D, he had a good start that first moto.
Yep.
Right up there.
Yep.
He goes 14-12 for 13th. Okay. Nick Romano, good start second moto.
Yep.
16-13 for 14th.
Just didn't last long.
No. I don't think he's going to be on that. I think he's out after this year, though.
Yeah, I think
Probably
so,
had to do club bike, but we'll see. Cody Schock, 15-15 for 15th. Carson Mumford, 17-16 for 16th. Hymus, 13-20 for 17th. Dabbed his knee, he said. So that lingering knee injury flared up again here for us. So, okay. Jet Reynolds, 18-17 for 18th. All right. Lux Turner, 20-18 for 19th. Talon Hawkins, 19-19 for 20th. Cole Thompson goes DNS 21st. Nate Thrasher goes DNS. I never even saw Thrasher all day.
I didn't either.
Didn't even know he was fucking there.
Honestly, yes.
And then Swole goes DNS for 23rd. Fun fact that I didn't know about. So remember when they started these SMX things, they said, oh, if you win, you get an automatic bid in, right?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that if you won a race, your automatic bid in is, well, you'll be in the LCQs.
Oh.
The top 20 is still the top 20.
Okay.
So say, for example, Eli Tomac wins A1, crashes out the next round. He's in the SMX, but he has to ride the LCQs.
I see.
Which I didn't know until this weekend, and I was like, well, that's interesting. Super interesting.
Yeah.
So, anyway, just a fun fact to clarify rules there that I didn't really know the clarification on, because I thought you got in,
I had
which
no idea.
we kind of questioned when it came out last year, I remember, of like, so 20 guys are seated, but if you win, you get in, so there maybe is 22 guys or something, so then what do you do with the LCQ guys or whatever? Rules now make sense. I'm not sure those were ever clarified to us last year, but no, they are. So anyway, so that's been your 250 race recap brought to you by Flo Racing. Check them out. Link in the description down below. Anything else you want to talk about here before we sign off?
I don't think so.
All right.
It was pretty good. It was. I enjoyed watching everything all the way down to the 65. So
I thought it lived up to the
cool.
hype of playoffs.
I agree.
If we're going to put playoffs on it, it needs to have hype. I feel like this had hype.
Yep.
I enjoy it.
Agreed. 100%.
So, And there was one other thing here that we'll touch on as far as the playoff situation goes like that. Weege did make a point on one of the Weege shows that with motorsports, like with regular sports, you start the season and usually the biggest games are the last ones, right? Because you have your playoffs at the end and all this stuff. With motorsports, it's like the exact opposite. The biggest races are always the first ones. Think Daytona 500, A1, all that kind of stuff, right? Because everybody's there and whatever. By the time you get to the end, it's kind of like, whatever. So creating these playoffs to make the final rounds seem better.
Yeah, keeps the excitement.
I went, okay. And this I felt like really delivered. And I know a lot of people last year, myself included, had questions on what the hell is this SMX thing?
I was super skeptical.
This is stupid. The name's dumb. All that stuff. And I was one of those guys. I was one of them that was like, this is a fucking joke. It's now starting to create some hype, some bravado. These guys are realizing it's real. They're riding races to come back. Again, as has been stated 100 times. If there's no SMX, we don't see Eli Tomac till A1.
No.
We don't see Ken Rocks until A1.
We don't see Cooper Webb.
We don't see Cooper Webb till A1. So
it keeps the names around.
Getting those guys back and seeing them, this is great.
Agreed.
This is great.
Yeah.
So, all right. So thanks to our sponsors, Complete Racing Solutions, TLR Coatings, Holster Co., Gutter Works, and Pro Flo Racing. Oh, we forgot to do the Isaac Nelson Designs Deegan Danger Zone.
The whole thing was Danger Zone.
Fuck that one up. The whole show was Deegan Danger Zone. We talked about Baby Daddy there.
We did, yeah. Sorry, Isaac.
So anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in. Remember to join the members area. Thanks Eric for coming on. Oh, thanks to Alias MX too for bringing Eric on. And Mike, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. And we'll see everybody next week to wrap up Texas.
Awesome.
Later.
See you.